dietitian and personal trainer from Hungry Hobby. Sorry I'm jumping on a little late for those of you that were looking for this broadcast. Internet connection went out, so can't control that. Just restart and all that, unplug, plug back in, call my husband, freak out, all that stuff. So just waiting for people to jump on, and also trying to do the thing where I pull up my feed so that I can actually see what you guys are seeing. Today we're just going to have a quick little chat about healthy travel snacks. Hey, look, there I am. Let's see. And turn it down. Today we're just going to have a quick little chat about... Mute. Okay, so today we're just going to have a quick little chat, I know I already said that, about healthy travel snacks. I know that Memorial Day is coming up this weekend, and so for many of us that sparks an entire summer of travel and all kinds of things to do, so I thought it would be fun to jump in really fast and just give you some ideas of things you can do while you're traveling to stay healthier and feel good, have lots of energy, all that kind of stuff. My husband totally has, if you read my blog today, my husband totally has the travel bug. I have a lot of trips planned upcoming throughout the summer, and he doesn't really, and so now he's really looking to want to do a lot of traveling. So if you guys have suggestions, head to the blog and write those on it, hungryhobby.net, for those of you that are just tuning in that aren't familiar with it. So, quick little recap. The last few weeks on Facebook Live, what I did was two different things. So the first one that I did was on healthy smoothies, and we actually built a healthy smoothie that I had this morning. More of just like how to replace your smoothie and make it a meal. And so just things to think of to balance your smoothie. So that was the first one I did. Last week I did the adult Lunchable, so I showed you all different combinations on how to make the adult Lunchable and just kind of not spend your entire Sunday packing food. So if you aren't, hi Lori. So if you haven't watched those ones yet, make sure you go back and watch them. So today, like I said, we're going to talk about travel snacks. If you guys have questions, I've got the comments open, so hopefully I can answer them. If I can't answer them during the actual broadcast today, I can always answer them after, either in the comment section or on the blog. I know some of you will be watching this later on, either uploaded to YouTube or to my blog, because a lot of my clients are on Facebook and they want to see the videos. So I've been uploading them that way as well. So let's get started. So like I said, today we're going to talk healthy travel snacks. So the first thing I want to talk about is hydration. So for me, if you watched any of my Facebook Lives at the beginning of the year where it was like attempting to Facebook Live and like had the thing like right next to my face and was just like a bobbling head talking to you, I talked a lot about how terrible I am with drinking water. And since then, the owner of the gym that I work out at and coach sometimes, he's always giving me crap about it, always reminding me to drink water because I'm terrible with it. And so when I travel, it can be even worse. And so that's why I have this here. Obviously, I don't bring a mason jar with me, but this is what I drink out of during the day. Sometimes this. My mother-in-law is so, if she's watching, hey, if she's watching, she's probably watching from my own Facebook account, but she's so good at bringing water, and she just brings a water bottle with her like this and fills it up at the airport. I am way too much of a germaphobe for that. Like, I can't. There's no way. So I just make sure that I know that I'm going to spend $6 on a couple liters of water, and then I bring these True Lemon packets because I'm really bad at drinking water, and these help me drink water. That's what's in this now. They're not perfect. They've got crystallized lemon, citric acid, lemon oil, lemon juice, cane sugar, stevia leaf extract, natural flavor, Lord knows what that is, and turmeric. So, turmeric for color, at least they're not using like a food dye. So I think they're pretty good, and they really help me drink a lot of water, especially throughout the day, but also when I travel. So these are a great thing to bring with you. I don't know if you guys can actually see them, but that's what they look like. And remember, I'll link all of these in the post. So True Lemon packets can help you drink water. And keep in mind that regardless of traveling, if you even get like a slight bit of dehydration, what happens is your body will actually start to send hunger cues in order to get hydration in, and not necessarily thirst cues. So you might start to get more hungry than you would if you stayed hydrated. So staying hydrated is a really big piece. It'll also cut down some of those cravings, cut down hunger levels, all that stuff. So when you're traveling, come up with a game plan. Whether it's you're bringing your own water bottle and you're filling it up, or you're spending the $6 and $9 at the airport for a couple liters of water, build that into your plan and make that the very first thing that you go do. Like, that's the very first thing I do. I mean, maybe I use the bathroom, but then I go buy water. So that's number one. Number two are things I want to go over that I actually don't bring, because I think you can see a lot of these lists of like, these are healthy snacks, and on the healthy snack list I always see bring a bag full of raw almonds or some kind of nuts or seeds. I'm not super into that, and the reason is because I find that in traveling, boredom happens a lot, right? Like, you're sitting in the airport waiting, you're sitting in a car driving, you're sitting on the plane, you're sitting, and you're just bored, like, especially when they tell you have to turn off your phone. So I think that nuts, although a really healthy food, are super easy to overeat, and so I don't typically recommend them. Also, if I have like a bag full of nuts in my purse, that is not going to deter me from all the sweets and all the things around me. Like, oh, could I eat these nuts or should I buy a Snickers bar? I don't know. Like, what do I want to do? So not like the most exciting food, and you have to balance that. So two things with that: overeating, and then is it going to actually deter you from eating maybe something less healthy? So you're going to have to think of that. So you can either, if you really love to take like raw almonds or mixed nuts or whatever, you can portion control them by putting them in like a little snack baggie. Or what I do is I typically get, so again, I don't know if you guys can see these, but I get these little nut butter packs. And there's a couple different kinds. So there's these Barney ones, and then there's Wild Friends sunflower butter, and there's Justin's peanut butter. I mean, you can find a bunch of them. I like these Barney ones because they are actually only 100 calories, and I'm not big into calorie counting. I don't think you need to like count. I've gone back and forth counting my macros recently, but I do think that you should kind of keep in mind calories when you're traveling and sitting on your butt all day. So I like these 100 calorie packs because they're, you know, a decent amount. They're about a tablespoon in this big packet, but it's still controlled. Now, if I bring these, my plan is usually to purchase some kind of produce, like celery, like those celery carrot mixes that have the gross ranch in them that have 50 million chemicals in it. Like, Lord knows how much you have of that. I'll put in that, and I'll throw away the ranch, and I'll actually eat it with the almond butter or the peanut butter pack. So if I do one of these like more packs, I will buy that. So that's as far as the nut butter packs go. I prefer to do those over getting actual, bringing actual nuts and things like that you can really easily overeat. Plus, these are super easy to throw in your purse. So I like that. The other thing I typically avoid is empty calories at all. So like pretzels or chips or fruit snacks. I wouldn't eat those things normally, but they're super tempting at the airport. And so, or they're super tempting when you're traveling. So the way that I combat that is, if I am gonna do something a little bit more carby, keep in mind that you're just craving sugar because of stress. So on my little cheat sheet over there, I have like a little note. It's like sugar, line stress. Because when you're traveling, things are stressful and your body is increasing your cortisol response, which is your body's natural stress hormone. And its job is to literally be like, okay, well, we're stressed, so fight or flight response, like, let's get energy, let's get energy, let's get energy. And that increases your sugar cravings. So to combat that, you're going to want to go with more protein, which we'll talk about in a minute. But on the flip side, if you really are someone that loves that, salty carby thing, bringing something that's like a little less sugary or a little less ingredients, a little bit healthier might be helpful. So one thing I like is, I like plantain chips because it's plantain, sunflower oil, and salt. Now, I would not bring the whole chip bag, again, because of the issue of overeating when you're bored, when you're sitting on a plane. Like, I could easily down this whole bag and it would just be gone, like, no problem. Whoop, done. So I will put it in like a little snack bag, and then I'll put the rest of them in whatever bag I'm checking, or like deep buried in my carry-on. So that's what I would do for that. Or I just found this granola. This is also a Trader Joe's item. You can tell where I shop. It's Asian Grains granola. It's pretty low sugar compared to other stuff. So again, if you feel like you need something that's more snackier, these two things would be better options for you. So I like those, but those are a suggestion, but they're not something that I typically bring. I'm gonna go more for protein. So the thing about protein anytime is that it's gonna cut sugar cravings, and it's gonna help keep you full. And there's lots of options out there that taste really yummy that are great alternatives to a Snickers bar or other things like that. So before I get into some of the bars and things that I do like to bring, I kind of want to talk about when you do see the Snickers bar, or you say you're going to get your water and you see, I don't know, there's like a million things you could have there, or even in the morning for breakfast. So say that you go in there and you see those things, how do you keep yourself on track, especially at the beginning of the vacation? And that's the one way that I keep myself on track, is I say, okay, it's 5 minutes in the vacation. If you start 5 minutes in the vacation with a double white chocolate mocha and a cinnamon roll in your hand, like, that's gonna be a good vacation, but it's not gonna be very balanced. And so what I do is keep in mind, I can have those things anytime. Snickers bar, cinnamon roll, super sugary coffee. And I look forward to the things that are gonna be once in a lifetime experiences or once in a travel experience, things that I can't get at home normally, and remind myself. So I'm always looking up restaurants before we go somewhere or before I travel, and getting really excited about the places that I'm gonna go and the things that I'm gonna do, so that I'm not wasting my calories in the airport. And that is the one thing that will talk me off the ledge. When I'm about ready to like face first into like a buffalo quesadilla, that's the one thing that will talk me off the ledge. Be like, wait. Like, we haven't even got to our destination yet. It's gonna be so good. Like, why not stay healthier now and really be able to enjoy those things later, versus just feeling gross about indulging the entire time. So that's the one thing that'll talk me off the ledge. That's how I'll end up going to a restaurant and getting, say, like a bunless burger. That's a lot of protein with some salad. That's a go-to for me. Egg sandwiches are a go-to for me in the morning. I will, if there's a Starbucks, typically get a feta breakfast wrap. Now, those aren't a very clean, like the ingredient list on that is like 50 miles long. But it's one of those exceptions I make because I know it's high protein and pretty balanced, and it's definitely better than the cinnamon roll, right? So eggs in the morning are a great idea if you can't do eggs. I know a lot of my blogger friends love to bring oatmeal with them. Make sure you bring some kind of scoop of protein powder, collagen, or something with you, so that you're not just having like a bunch of sugar or carbs in the morning with that oatmeal. If you get an oatmeal packet from Starbucks, you can throw in some protein powder with it, and that can be a good option too. So focusing on protein when I'm buying food, protein and vegetables, and looking forward to the, okay, this is gonna be a great vacation. I don't need to start now. I can start when it gets really unique and it gets really good. So that's one thing that will talk me off the ledge. So hopefully that helps you. So as far as bars and things that I do bring with me, especially, you know, if I feel like it's not going to be easy to get food or stop or have a meal, I love Quest bars. So they're not super, they're great. I mean, they're pretty processed, but they have a very minimal ingredient list. They're mostly whey protein and some soluble corn fiber, but they have great flavors, like fantastic flavors. Some of them are stevia sweetened, some of them are sucralose sweetened. I usually go more towards the sucralose, or the stevia. Kirkland Costco makes a great knockoff of Quest bars. They have like a cookie dough version and a chocolate brownie, I think it is. So that's a really great option for you as well. And so that's kind of my favorite protein bar. I also like RX bars. These are, again, going to be a little sugarier, but they still have 12 grams of protein. If you have like a dairy allergy or something like that, these are a great option because they actually have egg white protein in them. So these are a really good option for you for that. We've got Caveman bars and Kind bars. So these are more nuts and seeds, and I like these because these kind of portion control the nuts, but also are kind of sweeter. And they only have like 14 grams of carbs, but they kind of like satisfy that urge for a candy bar, but also portion control some healthy nuts to keep you full. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. That when you go for Kind bars, it's the nuts and spices line that you want. You'll see it says underneath the bar. So again, in that black part on the side of the bar, you probably can't see it very well, sorry. It says nuts and spices, and so those are the line that you want, because other Kind bars can be super sugary. And Caveman bars are usually only 14 grams of sugar, and you can usually, or 14 grams of carbs and some sugar, and you can usually do pretty well with those. So my husband thinks these taste like a cookie, and I do too, and they're pretty healthy. So you can do with that. I haven't had one of these Omega bars in a really long time, but I used to get them all the time, and so I grabbed one when I was getting all this stuff for today's Facebook Live. And also for my traveling. It's a double win. It's got more, it's whey protein, fiber, dark chocolate, tapioca syrup. It actually they put fish oil in it. I don't remember actually being able to taste the fish oil, but so it's a healthy dose of omega-3s, which is good. It's anti-inflammatory. And it's got 14 grams of protein and 21 grams of carbs. I would say it's not the ideal travel snack, just like the RX bars aren't the ideal travel snack because they're a little bit carbier, but they're still a good option, a lot better than anything else you could get in the airport. And then some of my favorite things to do, because it satisfies that salty craving when you're traveling, is jerky. So I recently got the Epic brand, and then I got this Caveman brand. I guess I should say I haven't tried these, but I haven't really never tried a jerky that I didn't like. So there's that. But I try to look for ones that are soy-free, and you cannot get soy-free, or at least soy sauce-free jerky in the airport. So you really got to prepare and bring that ahead of you. Now, if you don't have a soy issue or a gluten issue like we have in my house, then you could probably get away with that, and it's going to be a better case scenario than a lot of other stuff. But I do like to purchase it ahead of time so I can get soy-free. So I got this Caveman, which makes these Caveman bars, chicken jerky, spicy barbecue, and then for my husband I got uncured bacon and pork, maple and blueberry. I don't have anything against pork, I just don't really like it. So he does, so I got it for him. So these are good options if you're looking for soy-free. And then one of my favorite things to bring is these like tuna packs. I wish you could see that better. But these tuna packs are a great idea because you could eat them, like sometimes I'll eat them with some plantain chips and there's your meal. Or you can eat it with some veggies or just get a fork from somewhere and eat it out of there. And I mean, you can't get any cleaner than that. Just 21 grams of protein. So that's going to help cut sugar cravings and also just really easy and portable. Like you can throw this in your purse and you're good to go. And so those are pretty much my suggestions for healthy travel snacks. Like I said, I have all of these linked on, well, I have most of them linked on the blog. Some of the new things I found, like the Caveman jerky is new to me. Tuna packs aren't new, but this is a new brand to me. Epic is a new brand to me. So I'll link some of that stuff. RX bars are recently somewhat new since I wrote that post a couple years ago. So I'll link some of this stuff so that you guys can see and order off Amazon like I would have done if I didn't have a Facebook Live and then I purchased it all from Sprouts. But I would have probably just ordered a few things off Amazon like Quest bars and maybe these almond butters because those are really my favorite. I went over what to purchase out: eggs, salad, veggies, bunless burgers, and then keep in mind with the alcohol too, like looking ahead to better treats in the actual vacation will help you stay on track when you're traveling to the vacation. Don't waste the calories while you're traveling to the vacation because the vacation is going to be bomb. So that's kind of my suggestion there. If you guys have any other questions, I'm happy to answer them. Feel free to comment in on this post or comment in on the blog. And either way, it's hungryhobby.net. Either way, I'll be back next Tuesday at 10 a.m. with a special Facebook Live with a special guest, which will be exciting. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, safe weekend. Absolutely check the blog today. I've got an awesome salad up for the Memorial Day, one that not anyone could turn down because it has the most American food ever in it. Besides berries, it's got bacon in it, which is awesome. So check the blog today for that and a roundup for ideas later on this weekend. Other than that, have a safe, great weekend.